Black Angus steaks.
Big steaks, no doubt.
Big
Yes.
steaks. That's what I want to eat. We're bringing you a choice today. You can bring home 6 of the 9-ounce Black Angus steaks. The 6 count is $129.98, 4 easy payments of $32.49, or I say stock up and save. You're going to save almost $40. You're getting 12 for $219.98, 4 easy payments of $54.99. This is part of the Reserve collection. Talk to me about that, because I know that means the best of the best.
It really does. So what our Reserve collection means, number one, it's like all of our steaks. It's Black Angus.
Yeah.
It's born, raised, and harvested right here in the United States, right? In addition to that, the Reserve collection means it's been aged for 45 days, where our standard ribeye steaks are aged for more about like 21 days. So these are aged for almost twice as long, actually more than twice as long. And that aging process just allows the steaks to get even more tender and that meat to break down even further. And we do that here in a controlled environment that's kept really under beautiful temperature. And what you're seeing is all those Black Angus steers, they're raised in that beautiful open air, right? Green grass, clean water, sunshine, that's how it should be. And at the end of the day, that's what results in this beautiful steak that you get to your home. And these, Chelsea, are gigantic. I mean, these are 9-ounce steaks, right? Typically, we're doing like 6-ounce sirloins or 5-ounce filet. These are really, really big steaks. You can absolutely take one of these, cut it in half, and share it with your significant other, or just cut half of it and put it back in the refrigerator for later.
Well, and that's what I think is so special about bringing home these steaks. It allows you that ability to eat it, you know, of course, center of the plate at dinner, but then why not slice it over?
Exactly.
I love what you did. That's like one of my favorite things right there,
Me
like
too.
an iceberg wedge with that blue cheese, the purple onions, the tomatoes.
Definitely.
I love that it takes like moments to prepare, and then you have that delicious gourmet meal that you look forward to eating every time. Look how delicious.
It really does. And, you know, you're absolutely right. These do take not much effort to get them ready, right? One of the things we actually recommend when you get these at home, they're going to come to you individually vacuum packaged, like you see here. So when you get them at home, you're getting either 6 or 12 of these individually vacuum packaged. What's nice about this packaging is you can actually let it thaw in your refrigerator. And with our meat items, you're going to get 14 days shelf life in the refrigerator.
Oh, good.
18 months shelf life in the freezer. So if you don't get to this the first day or 2 days or even 10 or 12 days later, you can, it's okay. Keep them in your fridge for up to 14 days. But the one trick that you really want to do when you're cooking steaks, any steak, is get that steak to room temperature. So let it sit on your counter, thaw out completely, right? But then more than anything, let it get to room temperature before you actually start to prepare it. And you're welcome to just jump in here. Sorry.
Did you see me just pick
saw
up
you
my
reaching
fork
for the fork.
Slowly, I was like, is this going to happen?
And honestly, you can take this, your fork, and just cut right through this meat. I mean, it is just so tender, right?
Tender, juicy, flavorful.
It is.
You're getting those ribeye steaks. You're also getting that packet of that signature Rastelli seasoning. When would you put that on? After it's been cooked?
Exactly. So I actually recommend, like I said, get them to room temperature, then take your Rastelli signature seasoning. I like seasoning. I like salt.
Me too.
It's just how I've been growing up. So I usually will take that seasoning and generously season each side of the steak before I cook it. And then when it's done, I'll actually go ahead and do it again, right? So I like a lot of seasoning. And that seasoning packet you mentioned is going to be more than enough to cover your entire steaks, all 6 or 12 of them. But one of our favorite things to do with this, these are going to go a long way. As I said, they're 9 ounces in size, and you see me kind of plating these little crostinis here. You know, we love taking either our ribeye steaks or our tenderloin medallions, taking these steaks, slicing them really thin, and making like a ribeye crostini. We have the holidays coming around, just here in a few more months. You can do so many fun things with this beyond just eating it as a center of the plate steak, but it's always great that way.
You know what I love that you guys do here at Rastelli? The way they are so expertly trimmed. I've talked about this before. Maybe this is a support
Let's go right
moment.
there.
Is I don't love like gristle and fat. A lot of times when you eat steaks from other places, you have to like cut around so much fat that you waste a lot of the meat. These are so perfectly trimmed, you can eat them end to end.
You really can, and that's really one of the major differences. What you're seeing here on your screen is a whole Black Angus ribeye, right? Typically, when you buy this at the grocery store or at a butcher shop, this piece of meat is almost 1.5 times the width or the circumference of this because it's covered in fat. It has bones on it. It has a lot of gristle. Here at the butcher shop, we remove all of that till you get to a piece of meat that just looks just like this. To give you an idea, that's about 25 to 30% of the total of the meat we are not sending to you, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to just give you a steak that you're going to be able to eat from end to end. Sure, you're still seeing a little fat on this steak because that is the ribeye steak.
Right.
Of course, it has a little bit more fat because that fat is flavor.
Yeah.
But when you get these at home, this is what that steak is going to look like in its raw form. It's just the perfect amount of marbling that's running throughout this beautiful steak that when you cook that down is going to basically taste like butter, right, at the end of the day.
I mean, that is absolutely incredible. Talk to me about the best way to prepare this.
Yes, so Chris is going to pop out. We're actually going
Chris?
to do this right on air. So this is
my
about
gosh.
a 9-ounce steak that
I'll
I
trade
just
places
cut
with you, sir.
that we
I'll just eat
just
steak.
trimmed down for you. These cook really fast. So you're going to be able to take one of these. We already have our pan kind of oiled, right? You can take one of these. This is going to get hot just here in 2 minutes. This is going to cook at most, call it 4 minutes on each side, really quickly. So if you want to do them in your skillet at home, you can do that, and we'll see that cooking off really quickly. But as he's doing, I like to generously kind of coat each side of it.
Right.
And with oil, a little bit of oil as well. He's going to go ahead and let that cook, like we said, anywhere from like 3 to 6 minutes on each side, depending on how well you want it done. And then when it's done, just like we let it rest to get the room temperature in that raw form, you know, before we cooked it, we want to actually let it rest when it's coming off of that skillet as well, Chelsea.
Okay.
Because that's one of the big differences about when you get a steak at the restaurants. They actually let it rest. So they let it rest for at least 5 to 6 minutes before you go eat it. And it makes it even more tender.
Oh, that's so good to know. It's hard to let it rest because you want to immediately eat it, but do it, you're going to be happy.
Right.
Okay.
Ray, one thing, these are huge.
They are huge.
They're
These are
big.
really big steaks.
Yeah.
So we have a plate over here. I just want to show something because when we eat these at home,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my kids, we split them.
Yep.
I mean, so,
Same with Brittany and I, definitely.
I mean, look how big that is. I mean, if you take a plate and you put this on the plate, it's filling the plate up.
I mean, look at that.
So, you know, you're getting, I know it says, what, 10?
Right.
10,
6 or 12.
6 or
Yeah.
12, I'm sorry.
Right.
But if you're getting 6, I mean, depending if it's a lunch or for a salad, you can get 3 salads out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So you have 3 or 4 people, you can get 3 to 4 salads out of just one steak.
Definitely.
So this goes a
That's
long
not even
way.
half a salad there.
And the way-
I mean, half a steak.
And the thing about this is that these tuck away.
Right.
We didn't talk about this on the. They tuck away in your freezer. You don't have to leave them in the bag.
Right.
You just tuck them away.
Yeah.
Right. So I got this going. So I'm going to step over here and cook
Yeah,
this. And
well, and that's such a great point because we talked about, you know, the holidays are coming, but also just a random Tuesday is coming. You know, you just have those days where all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? You're already a little hangry. The kids are hungry. The grandkids are hungry. Why not serve them the most delicious, tender, flavorful, juicy black Angus steak?
Definitely.
I just feel like this is the way I want to eat, the way I want to serve my family, because I want them to eat the best of the best. This is the reserved collection, the rich, juicy, tender steak that we love. Huge 9-ounce ribeye steaks. You can pick up 6 today for that great sale price of $129.98, 4 easy payments of $32.49, or stock up and save almost $40 with that 12 count. You're bringing it home for $219.98, 4 easy payments of $54.99, saving $20 off that QVC price. Call us now to bring it home. That's the best way to place your order. 1-800-500-7590. This is M80207. That steak is almost done.
It is.
It is.
I mean, another 3 or 4 minutes and we're ready to go. That's how easy that is.
I absolutely love it. So listen. We have 1 more hour, but we're going to take a quick break. We're bringing you so much more deliciousness. We're going to bring you that perfect gourmet pot stickers coming up in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. My name is Chelsea. I'll see you in just a minute. Bye-bye. I'm going to eat a steak.